Namāēw means sturgeon. And it's been given to us by the Creator during our creation story that we will always have the sturgeon. And the sturgeon would spawn and run all the way up until this point behind me, where is their final spot where they would spawn. Every spring we would harvest those sturgeons. Between that time, the sturgeon's responsibility was a warrior, and his warrior was inside the job. His job was inside that water, and he had to take care of our rice beds from the water side, and we took care of it from the shore side. So those sturgeons were equipped like men, also like warriors.
My name is David Greeno. My Menominee name is Namāēw, and I'm the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Menominee tribe. The sturgeon have been with the Menominee people since creation of our tribe, thousands of years ago. It was at the Menominee River that our people were created. 5 clans: bear, eagle, moose, wolf, and crane. And it was here that what the creation story had said is that sturgeon was subgrouping under the bear clan. And sturgeon would be one of the first foods that the Menominee people harvested from the Menominee River.
Well, my name is Donald J. Ryder. I'm the Fish and Wildlife Manager for the Menominee Indian Tribe. Each and every spring, the reason the tribe is where we're at today is at the Kashina Falls, the Wolf River, we'd always have there'd be a calling, there'd be like a drum sound. Once that drum sound was heard, the lake sturgeon came in right behind that and spawned. And then that would react, because lake sturgeon is an ancestral clan of the Menominee tribe. Someone from the lake sturgeon clan they'd start the ceremony of spring.
They're directly related to our thunder beings and our thunder being stories. The sturgeons, when we harvest them, all the people would come in from all over to this location here.
The sturgeon impacted the Menominee people over time as in the beginning as a subsistence, a way of survival, I think I would say, and I'll go back to the earliest history that I know is when the Menominee people settled here in 1854. One of the reasons they decided to settle was of the sturgeon run. Menominees had to endure long winters, and during the springtime, that the tribal people was depleted of their energy and diets. Of course, the winters were tough, so the sturgeon was a welcome sight, number one, for them to arrive at Kashina Falls, and that's where the Menominee people would gather to gather fish and to have a big feast and to kind of rejuvenate their population. It would re-nourish, I'd say, over the long enduring winters.
Several places along the Green Bay and the Menominee River. Even through the treaty period, the Menominee relied on sturgeon, even up until 1854, when the Menominee Reservation was created. One of the reasons the Menominees chose this area was the Wolf River, because of the migration of sturgeon every spring that came to Kashina Falls to spawn.
The U.S. government wanted us to move to Minnesota. They said the tribe was going to move. But then we had two of our Chief Oshkosh and then Chief Saligny went to upper Minnesota look at some reservation land. They wanted to put the Menominee tribe, and it was happened to be at the same time there was two Chippewa tribes fighting each other, so they were going to put us in the middle. And we said and the land was no good up there either. So the Chief Sligny and Chief Oshkosh, they explained why Menomonies, we as sturgeon people, why we wanted this land, and the main thing was the main reason we wanted this was the Kashina Falls, and that sturgeon drum in a spring where we'd get, this was our land, this is where we recognize our land is when the fish would come up. So then in 1854, when we signed the Treaty of Kashina Falls, it was to establish this reservation.
But throughout history, the Menomonies have relied on sturgeon not only as food and sustenance, but for medicine, and we still do today.
Posoh. My name is Doug Cox. I work for the Environmental Services Department. What was happening at the time was there were some tribal members that started viewing the lake sturgeon resource as being prevented from arriving here, of reaching the reservation. Their intent was to actually go to Shawano below the dams and fish lake sturgeon without permit.
The dam, again, and then we get back into the dam, the tribal people, okay, let's say the Shawano Paper Mill Dam was built in 1880 sometime, and the tribal people didn't know what that meant. Way back, if you go back in history, nobody really knew what that meant. So when we signed the treaty in 1854, we realized we wanted the fish. That was this reservation is why we wanted lake sturgeon. And then things went on as planned, but in the 1880s when he built the dam, the state of Wisconsin did not consult. They didn't have a consultation period with the tribe. So then, you're thinking 1880, if a dam's put up there, that blocked the fish passage. So that really had a cultural and spiritual impact on the Menominee tribal people itself.
Dams, of course, limit or restrict the migration. So the effects of Shawano Dam had on the Menominee people in the sturgeon was it restricted them from coming to their original place of spawning to Kashina Falls. So it did not allow them to get back to Kashina Falls, so that the fish were no longer able to move, migrate upstream. They were limited. They just can't get by the dams.
Dams were built in 1892 at Shawano, below the reservation. And one thing about that, they did not ask the Menominee people or tell us that these dams were going to be built. They just put them there. It was a very cultural and spiritual loss to us, a loss of food sustenance, a loss of cultural identity. We weren't able to conduct the ceremony every spring that our ancestors had done for centuries. It was a big cultural loss to us.
So we got together with DNR and said we want to know if lake sturgeon can make it up to the reservation and return here to Kashina Falls. And the first step that the DNR took was we wanted to inform the public that that's what we were going to do. So we started a public participation effort that wasn't just on the reservation, but it was sort of Wolf River wide, Lake Winnebago wide. That's where our interests start.
Research standpoint, we have a checklist of stuff we need to accomplish, and I'd say it's exciting because of all the people. It started maybe with 100 people at the ceremonial spring back in '93, and now you're growing up to be it's over 1,000 people that come and celebrate the whole weekend. We have weekend activities. So when we first started this, we're renewing our cultural existence through our historical preservation department. So I'm looking at it that way, as if you look at it, one thing is it's great from a biological standpoint. I think it goes a lot to show with the Wisconsin DNR and Menominee Tribe and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and Bureau of Indian Affairs all working cooperatively together. We have annual meetings and we discuss different management plans or how to manage lake sturgeon. I think with that itself, it's going to be a very successful cooperative research, our cooperative management partners.
I'm seeing a positive, the relationship to the sturgeon to the Menominee people in the future, I think is I see it as a positive. We're working we're working good collaboratively with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Again, though, it's right now the relationship looks good in a collaboration, and the future looks good at this point. But again, however, we can't lose track or focus of really what is best for the fish and the people is ultimately, and that is to seek long-term passage and let the fish come up freely and spawn as they should. Truck and transport, as we're doing now, is moving them up, is good. It's a 10-year plan. It's working well right now again, but I can't say again, it's too early to say what the future is for the Menominee people in the sturgeon, but right now it's looking fairly good as a substitute for passage.
Well, I think it's going to be good. We're going to continue to work with the Wisconsin DNR to reestablish the population of adult sturgeon on the Menominee Reservation, and hopefully get fish passage over the Shawano Dam and Balsam Road Dam. There's two dams that they would have to go over. We're working with the dam owner at Balsam Road, just below the reservation, to establish fish passage, and also with Wisconsin DNR. Hopefully someday that will occur, so migrating sturgeon can come back to the reservation naturally.
Ya e ya he ya e Yahweh Yahweh way ha Namāēw way ha Namāēw way ha Namāēw way ha Namāēw ya e Yahweh Yahweh way ha Namāēw way ha Namāēw.